Hey everyone, today we're gonna play a new visual novel called Love, Death and Veggies. Probably got the reference. And the first story is going to be a story about high school detective club that, well, something interesting happened. Hey everyone, so, Love, Death and Veggies. And as you can see, we have a couple of stories that I can choose. 6 to be precise. So I guess let's go with Ace Detectives. Oh wait, Ace Defectives. Okay. Well, probably all of you actually understand the reference in the name. This can't be happening. There's no such thing. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. I don't. Nike. The girl's eyes, wide with fear, glitter in the dark. Is she crying? It's completely out of character. She's a strong girl. Pretty resilient and tough. Even now, scared to death, she's trying to protect her friend instead of trying to hide. And the terrified Eve curls up and clutches Nike's arm, burying her face in it. She is whimpering so softly, so pitifully, that it makes me want to join her and lament too. The Nike hugs her and gently pats her back, calming her down. Well, look at this. I didn't expect that troublesome Thorn to have a kind side. Sometimes it's nicer to be wrong about people than to find out that you were right. Okay, so what the hell is happening in here? Eric, our so-called leader, white as chalk, presses back into the corner of the dark club room and keeps chattering his teeth. It seems he's having the worst time of anybody. Yeah, the dude is, look at him. He's scared. It's time to calm everyone down, but suddenly we hear a muffled noise from the corridor. We stare at the door in horror as approaching footsteps and an indistinct growl or howl cross the threshold. Holy crap! It's coming this way! It's coming straight for us! Mommy, mommy, mommy! What is happening? Eric stops chattering his teeth and just goes limp, sinking straight to the floor. His eyes rolled back. Perhaps he's lucky, unlike those of us who are still conscious. In the silence, the door creaks loudly. Okay, whoa. Wait, what the? Okay, so it's like, I'm going back now? So after they told me that there's something bad happening in the school, now they go into the beginning of the story. Hey there. I've never been a member of any club. No one ever invited me into one, probably because they didn't notice me. Sometimes being so nondescript is a curse, almost like you're invisible. Okay, so I guess this is the protagonist here. And sometimes being invisible is a gift. They don't notice you. They strike up frank conversations right in front of you, exposing terrible secrets, and you become an involuntary witness to the curious things that are happening in the lives of others. The main issue is that those events happen in their lives, but not yours. But as they say, half a laugh is better than no bread. I'm used to being thankful for small mercies. Okay. Yes, nothing particularly interesting happened in the first few days when I got to my new school. The teacher introduced me but thought that I was absent. Apparently he didn't notice me, sitting at the far desk, which is usually where I end up. When people want to see a new person, they expect something unusual, unfamiliar, new. Their gaze can't be fixed on such an ordinary face, with familiar standard features. To be honest, that isn't enough to become truly invisible. I had to learn some techniques. For example, I do not look directly at a person, only sideways, with peripheral vision. Or you have to restrict your movements. If movement is necessary, you should move slowly and smoothly with no sudden motions. You should also guess other things' movements, the swaying of the curtains, the movement of classmates, adapt to them, basically don't stand out. Well, kind of be a secret, I guess. At least, now they don't notice me at all, so I'm never being picked on. I picked up a lot of nicknames. Chameleon, Mimic, Mouse, and the most offensive one, Mr. Nobody. In order to not be called Nobody, I became a nobody. Okay, now it kinda explains why he's like that. Sometimes I think it's a bad move, a pretty silly thing to do, but I'm already used to it. Now I'm watching other people's life like movies. People can't see me in the dark of the hall, but I have them in the palm of my hand. That's how I witnessed the birth of the Ace Detective Club. Looking back, I must say that the only thing they were ace in was their shocking carelessness. But that didn't stop Eric, the founder of the club. Okay, so now we understand who are they. So they're actually a school detective club, and I guess they not good at it, so it's defective club. He had a dream. As for the sake of a dream, you can learn to deal with some people's shenanigans. Okay, finally something. Okay, Nike. I guess it's Nike? 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 I'll call her Nike. Nikki? Nah, let's just call her Nike, you know what? Eve, have you noticed the dark circles under the chemistry teacher's eyes? What do you think the reason is? Because he's a panda? Yeah, and he has a son called Ranma. I stand invisible just within earshot and enjoy another casual conversation between my classmates. Nike, without having any facts, bases her assumptions confidently on conjectures, and Eve, I still don't know which planet she's from, but it's a pure pleasure to listen to her, I think. His hands have been shaking lately. We can assume that he's a drinker. And an overeater? I almost give myself away. It takes a huge effort not to laugh out loud, but I managed somehow. Then I look at the window, studying the metamorphosis of the nearest cumulus cloud. But he also started wearing glasses and a dark robe, so I think that he cosplays Harry Potter. No, Eve, he's dying, and he's wearing a dark robe so that there are no visible bloodstains when his nose bleeds. Oh god. Okay, interesting theories, I guess. Eve looks at her friend with such admiration, as if she were Dr. Watson looking at Sherlock Holmes. Shortly after they met, and the eccentric detective was entertaining a new acquaintance with a demonstration of his talents. As for me, I simply saw our chemistry teacher playing some online game on his phone. Moreover, he plays it all the time now, even while at work. Okay, so we have a real detective here. Back home, he spends most of his time in front of his PC. That's exactly why he has dark circles under the eyes and poor eyesight, and his lab coat turned black from dirt. He doesn't have time to actually wash it. Okay, probably should have guessed that by the smell. But Nike's version was full of sinister secrets and tragedy. Let them feel sorry for the poor teacher. Maybe they will improve their chemistry knowledge out of PT2. Could be. Another classmate of ours materializes near the girls. It seems as if he was standing in wait, ambushed his poor prey, and now he's going to maul them. I wonder how though. Okay, yeah, here's Eric. Hello girls, would you like to talk about our Lord and Savior something something? Our god Odin? Oh wow, I was like actually just going with the memes and he was like, yeah, our god Odin. Cool dude, cool. Oh wait, that was Eve. Okay, yeah, that was Eve, okay. Eve is awesome. The poor guy chokes on his prepared speech. No wonder, Eve knows how to stun people, especially an unprepared person. I know she's new here too, and Nike immediately took patronage over her. Eric is not a religious guy. He doesn't read the Bible, but a magnifying glass sticks out of his pocket. I think he has a passion for a good detective story. This time, Eve's enthusiastic gaze is joined by Eric's admiring one. Fair enough, sometimes Nike hits a bullseye and does it very gracefully. Exactly! That's what I wanted to talk about! Look how excited he is. Like that time when he didn't do his homework and was asked about it. He began to stutter that time too. The girls in class didn't make fun of him because they all think he's smart and cute. Frankly, the guy's lucky. I invite you to join the Ace Detective Club! We're in high school, man. Who'll ever be interested in clubs now? Although, it gets me thinking and I realize that I wouldn't mind joining such club. Too bad no one will invite me to join. ADC! Seriously, it's kind of exciting. Based on Nike's facial expression, I realized that Eric will be given the runaround. I found out that the aircraft modelers accidentally inhaled some glue and so they were dismissed and sent to a narcologist. The best club room is now free, the one at the end of the corridor. It will be occupied shortly unless we find... We're in. What? What? Even Eve and I are surprised. Which is also surprising. Not many things can surprise both of us. People do surprise me though. Like, for example, how they can be both bad and good at the same time. Eve was surprised by rice balls yesterday. She found it strange that they do not crunch even though they look like lumps of snow. The room is great. Eve's joining too. You can count on us. Okay, like all of them are quite the characters, right? Eric and Eve smile and sing. Apparently the former was already prepared for long-winded coercion, and the latter is just happy. However, Eve is cheery all the time. I even envy her a little. Great. Here, sign this application. I still need to find 2 more, and I think I have someone in mind. Okay, well I know who one of those people is going to be. The happy guy skips off to class. I, out of habit, wait for a ride. Unnoticed, I join a party of disheveled passing by students. Judging by the absent eyes, they are the same aircraft modelers from before. If you copy all their movements and keep silent, you can become an invisible part of the party walking in the right direction. That's what I call a ride. Passing by the girls, I hear them talking. I didn't want to upset you, but our coffee shop is being shut down soon. But now we have a club. Great place to spend time after school. ADC, Alluring Damsel Club. Lovely. Okay, well, I'm pretty sure like whatever happened in the beginning it's not what we'd expect. It's not some kind of monster or someone dangerous. It's going to be something very silly. Eric should have heard that. I'm afraid he's in for a surprise. Lovely girls are going to turn the ADC into a girls' club, not to solve some detective mysteries or discuss chases or Christie's works. By the way, here's my stop. I separate from the group of still slightly stoned modelers and slip into the next class. Apparently, restless Eric has already found a new victim. A blonde beauty clutching a book. Well, she's not really blonde, is she? Clutching a book to her chest, still doesn't realize what this energetic boy from another class wants from her. Sherlock Holmes, Hercule Poirot, Alan Pinkerton, Eugene Guido, Inspector Gadget. Actually, forget it. It doesn't really matter. The important thing is we can do it. Right now. We'll catch up and overtake them. We can definitely do it. What's your name again? Sabine? Okay, that is actually a pretty nice name. It's so nice that I found you, Sabine. And that we have common interests. The guy vigorously points his finger at the book. That makes the girl hastily hide it behind her back. Here's the schedule. Here's the application form. Sign it. Poor Sabine quickly signs the paper and rushes out of the classroom. That scoundrel, he scared that poor beauty. The girl is really pretty though. Okay, someone has a crush? And so, I keep watching her go, completely forgetting about my camouflage. When Eric looks around the empty classroom with regret, His gaze meets mine. We're both slightly startled at the same time. He's like, wait, are you in this class, dude? Who are you? I've been out of the habit of direct eye contact for quite some time, and Eric seems delighted. What a disguise! You've been here all this time, and I haven't even... Are you in this class? I shake my head negatively, unsuccessfully trying to figure out how and where to retreat. The other one, then? Okay, that was actually pretty good. Pretty cool, the nodding. The guy waves behind his back. I nod. Are we classmates? Why, yes. You're that new guy that skips class all the time, right? I just shake my head while letting out a sigh. What do you mean? You've been gone for a while, haven't you? Another nod. What's the point now? I've been exposed anyway. Eric bats his eyelids and then suddenly bursts out laughing. Well, ain't I lucky today? I met the best conspirator of all time. The perfect detective is often the most inconspicuous one. Let's work together. And with these words, he hands me an application form. I take the pen and firmly sign the paper. Okay, yeah, probably he just joined because of Sabine, right? So, two friends studied in the same class and sat at the same desk. Between classes, one of them lost the money from his briefcase. Aside from that, some friend he is, he was the one who stole the money. We still need to find out if he did it. I didn't give you all the info yet. Nike is standing by the window, surprisingly quiet today. Then she breaks the silence. Without interrupting, she voices some of her serious thoughts. Friends come and go. Because they have legs! That remark stuns Eric. He even drops his printouts. Oh man, this is just pure chaos. Eve, this is not some logic puzzle. That's a shame. I love logic. That's a shame. I love logic. Well, really? Now my face is contorted too. Even Nike turns her attention away from contemplating the landscape outside the window and stares at her friend. It's so funny, this logic of yours. Well, thank God, everything is alright. Eve stays Eve. No one has replaced her. I think her name is kinda symbolic. After all, she's the first woman on Earth from another planet? Okay, conspiracy theory? Eric can't hold it anymore. He turns to the wall and his shoulders start shaking. Hey, are you crying there? No, honey, I think that bastard is laughing. It sounds so threatening that it really hits Eric. Without turning back, he holds out his palm behind him. Like, wait, don't attack. I get it. It won't happen again. He grunts for the last time, wipes a tear and turns his already serious face to us. Serious but still red from laughter. Laughing is good, crying is bad. Logic. Oh, man. Okay. I'm pretty sure it's really gonna be something silly in the end. The chairman of the club picks up the printouts, puts them into a stack, taps them on the table and says unexpectedly seriously, "Now, did we come here to study deductive methods or drink coffee?" Nike says nothing. Instead of her, it's Eve who answers the question confidently. Yes. Perfect. Perfect answer. I expected something like that. And after a few moments, she adds, "Would you like a drink?" Eric rolls his eyes and puts his printouts away in his desk. Did he really give up? I don't believe it. All week long, he had been trying to implant the love of detectives in the members of the club. He read books aloud, presented puzzles and solved them himself. Happy with his own success, I admired his intelligence and passion. I'm sure he'll make a great police inspector, but... Oh, come on. You two are constantly drinking tea. Sabine keeps reading silently, and this guy... What was his name? Mark! He's absent all the time! Outrageous! He's standing right in front of you, dude. Eve looks up from her cup for a second to get a word in. Indeed. Oh, it's so unfair. How am I absent all the time? I never missed a single meeting. It makes me want to jump out of my chair in the darkest corner of the room and, for example, throw up my hands indignantly. But I'm too lazy to move, and I decide to stay in stealth mode. The chairman's tirade doesn't impress Nike at all. She continues to stare out the window. The chemistry teacher got worse. His eyes are red now. He's looking picky. He's always disheveled, and he's tired. What do you care about him so much? Actually, he's accompanying us on a trip today. Have you forgotten already? By the way, what time is it? Can someone check their phone? We hand in our phones at the entrance. School rules? Okay, she probably should know that. I hid mine. What if the security guard loses it? Except I kinda forgot where I hid it. I'll go check the clock. Wait here, I'll be quick. He exits the room, not like any of girls noticed. I wonder if they even listened to him. Eve, let's leave. Where are we going? You have 3 guesses. To the astral plane? To the zoo? To the internet? Shucks. Can I have another one? To the internet. Bathroom, honey. We're going to the powder room. But I don't have any powder. Can I just pee then? Oh wow. I didn't hear what Nike said in response. The door was closed, and so we are left alone, Sabine and I. I really want to look at her, but I'm afraid that she will remember I'm here, notice me, and then get embarrassed and run away. She turns the last page of her book, sits with her eyes closed for a few moments, sighs and then gets up. The book is finished. Where is she going now? Home? Sabine does not answer that question. It's not like she's into answering verbally, voice questions anyway. She just simply leaves. Our full-time quiet one is gone now. The alluring damsel club is empty now. It's just me alone, not so alluring, and not a damsel either. I sigh silently out of habit, and I'm about to get a little sad, but then Eric breaks into the room with a piece of paper in his hand. Girls, look what they threw at us. This is an outrage. Where is everyone? The meeting is not over yet. I'm so... He stops mid-sentence. His hands hang limply by his sides. Sick of it? Eric and I jump. Eve is standing in the doorway. You didn't finish your phrase. Did you mean sick of it? Eric nods. He is not so gloomy anymore. Eve is here, and that means Nike will join her soon, too. I'm fine, really. Another mystery solved. However, you could still call me amused and puzzled. Puzzled what? Eric was puzzled. Okay, what have you got there? Oh yes, the note I found. Here. He puts the note on the table and solemnly slaps it with his palm. Nike looks at it skeptically and Eve immediately begins to read it. This is a trap. You will not get out of school until you solve the crime. What? What a mystery! What the hell? It was you who wrote it, you bloody detective. Why can't we leave the school? Eric shrinks away. I can relate. It won't do any good angering Nike, and he was so happy about the note. I don't know. I just went to check the clock in the hall, and the note was stuck to the clock face. See, there's some tape left on the corners. The presence of the duct tape convinces Nike, but it doesn't calm her down. Alright, get up and go. Okay. What a tone. It almost makes me jump up myself. Even though the girl addressed our genius of deduction. Everyone leaves the room, leaving me by myself. I'm not sad this time. I'm excited that the plot of another movie about someone else's life is taking a very interesting turn. And I can also try to be part of it somehow too. I even squeeze my eyes shut in anticipation. Am I finally going to feel alive? Wow, that was a dark sentence. Well, I guess in the end he will learn to show himself. I'm about to leave my improvised auditorium consisting of one chair in a dark corner of the club room when Eric suddenly returns with his charming convoy. Escort Nike's eyes dart flashes of anger and escort Eve is hopping along while humming something. If it's not you doing, then who did it? How would I know? I'm locked in with you too. In an empty school without a phone. An adventure, ta-da! An adventure, tra-la-la! There is a way out of any situation. And if you were eaten, then there would be two. Well, okay, I think I understand why there would be two. If it's funny, we just need to... No one's asking you. It's all yours and your stupid club's fault. Eric wills a bit. Even Eve quiets down, although I personally agree with her. It's an adventure, but Nike is merciless. For some reason, the perspective of spending the night inside the locked school doesn't seem too nice for her. I'll be in charge from now on. First of all, let's sit down and think. Come on, get down, take these papers and make some suggestions. It's known that when you're writing, you get more great ideas. Okay, so we should... Well, I wonder if it's actually gonna be something serious. No objections, no point in arguing with her now. We spent some time writing down our ideas, but it was enough to get dark. A little later, Eve's voice breaks the silence. Why is it so dark? Because it's night, honey? Nike answered by rote, but then she realized Eve mentioned unlit lamps. Then we hear switches clicking. And now we have some jerk knocking out the electricity. Okay, hand over the papers. Papers rustling in the dark. What's the point if you can't see it? Okay, recite it from memory then. Let's start with Eve. I see. Eve goes first and we'll leave something reasonable for last. Wise. First, we'll fry marshmallows on a fire. It's delicious and fun. Second, we'll solve some logic puzzles. And third, we'll have a contest for the most interesting story. Fourth, we'll find something edible. I'm pretty hungry. Well, funny because you say 4 is you're hungry and 1 is marshmallows. Oh man. She's chaotic. Eric stretches out his hand to the papers and then crumples his own and throw it into the trash. Why? Well, there's nothing really worthy on there. Are you saying that you had the same ideas as her? Are you for real? Eric looks away. I bet he's happy that it's dark in here now and no one will see that his face is turning red. Meanwhile, outside the window, the moon leaves its cloudy fort and it gets lighter in the room. Oh, now I can make out the letters. Shall I read it again? No need, honey. Now it's my turn. First, we'll break a window with a chair. Well, violence is the answer, I guess. I mean, you'll have to pay for that, but it's a way out. It's pretty sturdy, you know, a part of an anti-terrorist measure. Nye glares at him as if he was the one installing the windows. Second, find a landline phone. That won't do either. The school PBX is powered by the general network. After saying it, Eric presses into the wall. I'm afraid the next look Nye gives him will ignite him or put some holes in his skin. We can try opening the lock with a hairpin then. Do you know how to do that? I can bend a hairpin into a heart shape. I'm pretty strong. It will look very nice. So what do we do now? What the hell was that? And then I get up from my chair and make everyone flinch. Even Eric. Eve lets out a scream. How did you get here? Have you been here the whole time? Look at you. This is a completely new level. Ouch. He stops when he catches Nike staring at him. I go to the table and put my paper down. What is it? My suggestion. On the topic of the current consultation. So you can talk? I thought you were mute. Why didn't you talk before? I wasn't asked to. So what's your suggestion then? Read the rest of the note from the clock. What if there are instructions on how to get out of the strap? Wait, now it's Nika? Wait, is her name Nika or is it Nike? Okay, well, Nika makes more sense as a name. Okay, let's see if it will appear as Nika again. Nika says nothing. I think it's her turn to get read now. Eric nods happily and then tries to get the note, but Eve is faster. I'll read it. May I? Okay, yeah, it's Nike. Alright, go on, Eve. Eve pauses for a moment, turns the paper for the moonlight, and begins to run her eyes over the lines. You can read it aloud, you know. Okay, this is a trap. You will not get out of school until you solve the crime committed within these walls. The crime is the theft of a valuable book from Sabine. Okay. But it might not be the last of your misadventures. Be careful. The night holds dangers and spooky secrets. The room is silent, but it doesn't last too long. So it was her, that brat, who arranged everything, just to return that idiotic book of hers. Big deal, collector's edition. I told her then, you need to keep an eye on your things. Oh, she's in trouble now. I'm going... Wait, why do you think it was Sabine? Maybe it wasn't her at all. By the way, where she's now? I'm sure I didn't pass her on the way here, and all the rooms are closed now, except for this club room and... Eric falls silent, but we all say in unison, Teacher's room. Together we rush to the door. Wait, please stop. What about the warning? Oh fine, wait for me! Everyone knew that there was a lock in the staff room, but it was faulty. It opens with a nice good kick. Literally, you need to pull the door aside and give it a good push. Eric discovered this the other day when he was investigating the theft of a class register. He even figured out the kidnapper by the footprint on the door, which he was very proud of. A flunky who fixed a few of his grades got scolded, and Eric got it into his head that he's a real detective now. But as it turned out, they forgot to change the lock. As we approach the teacher's room, everyone slows down and becomes quiet. What if there are traps? A snare or a bucket of acid? Then she stops, realizing it's a bit too much. Although, what do you expect from a psycho who arranged all of this? Or a turd under the door? Even this, either jokingly or a serious assumption, did not lighten things up. No one dares to go first, except Eric. He confidently pulls the door handle and lifts his foot, ready to kick, but the door opens without any extra effort. Apparently, this bothers him too. He speaks in a whisper. He even forgets to lower his leg, staying in a ridiculous pose. What should we check first? Maybe the closet? Or the fridge? I wouldn't mind eating something. So the closet then. Okay, I think this was the room we started from, right? He finally lowers his leg, enters the room, and confidently moves to the double-leaf door. And we crowd behind his back. Turns out Eric is a pretty brave guy. What the... Those weird screams. He hesitates for a moment and then opens the closet. The doors make a screeching noise and all of us let out a scream. There is a body inside. The girls back away Why? I also put my hands over my mouth and take a step back, and Eric stretches out his hand to do what? It's okay, it's fake. The body in the closet twitches. Eric screams deafeningly, jumps up almost to the ceiling, and rushes out of the teacher's room. And the body begins to fall out of the closet, as if it was going to get out and grab its fleeing prey. Why it's like that though? I'd have run away too, but our hero knocks me down, and now, lying on the floor, I can clearly see as the corpse head falls off and gently drops on the floor. What? A hamster? The corpse's head turns around, peels apart, and transforms to a mere scarf. Out of it crawls everyone's favorite school pet, Pocky the hamster. My heart is pounding like crazy. The fear, unlike the corpse, is a very real one. I hurry to calm the girls who froze behind me. It's okay, it's just Pocky. Someone left their folded clothes here and put the hamster in them. The zombie apocalypse is cancelled. Nike swears, and Eve, forgetting all her fear, rushes to Pocky to give the poor animal some squeezing. After another Uchi Wuchi, you little fatso, look at your cute nose. I politely take the stunned animal from the loving girl and return it to its cage. It seemed like the hamster looked at me with gratitude before completely burying himself in the torn newspaper. Might be for the best. And what do you eat here? Not likely brains, as we first thought. Can I have your nut? Nike knocks the nut out of Eve's hands and returns it to the rodent. Okay, I guess in Russian her Nike is actually Nika and Eve is actually Yeva. Okay, yeah, just like changes here and there. You don't want it, honey. It's bad for you. Eric peeks into the room. He looks guilty and ashamed. Sorry, I was a little taken aback. It shouldn't have moved. It shouldn't have? So it was you. Okay. He doesn't even have time to answer. We hear a rustle from the far corner, making us tense up again. We huddle together again and carefully look behind the curtain. Okay, now it got serious. The only reason I didn't scream was because the girls just loudly inhaled all the air in the room. It's Sabine, a pale face gleaming in the moonlight. Her hair scattered to the sides and blood. So that's what the note warned us about. There's still a maniac. No, it can't be. And then the dead girl moves and begins to rise. This time we all let out a scream and we rush out of the teacher's room together, making a stampede in the doorway while pushing each other. A few moments later we are in the club room again. So this is who they were running away from. Without a word, we hide in the corners, pressing ourselves into the walls, not being able to catch our breath, as if we're the worst asthmatic ninjas in the world. It's still a zombie after all. I wanted to object, but fear makes my thoughts mixed up. I can't believe all this nonsense, but Sabine? She was there, dead, and now she's... Well, I guess she wasn't really dead. Maybe she just like... fell or something? This can't be happening. There are no such things. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I don't. The girl's eyes, wide with fear, glitter in the dark. Is she crying? It's completely out of character. She's a strong girl, pretty resilient and tough. Okay, this is the beginning. Even now, scared to death, she's trying to protect her friend instead of trying to hide. And the terrified Eve curls up and clutches Nike's arm, burying her face in it. She whimpering so softly, so pitifully, that it makes me want to join her. And Layman too. Then Nike hugs her and gently pats her back, calming her down. Well, look at this. I didn't expect that troublesome Thorn to have a kind side. Sometimes it's nicer to be wrong about people than to find out that you were right. Eric, our so-called leader, white as chalk, presses his back into the corner of the dark club room and keeps chattering his teeth. It seems he's having the worst time of anybody. It's time to calm everyone down, but suddenly we hear a muffled noise from the corridor. We stare at the door in horror as approaching footsteps and an indistinct growl or howl cross the threshold. Holy crap! It's coming this way! It's coming straight for us! Mommy, mommy, mommy. Eric stops chattering his teeth and just goes limp, sinking straight to the floor, his eyes rolled back. Perhaps he's lucky, unlike those of us who are still conscious. In the silence, the door creaks loudly. Okay, here we go. Oh man, this is... Yeah, this is exactly what I thought would happen. What are you guys doing? Don't scare me like that. Is it because of the jam? I've already wiped it off. Stop it! It was an accident. The jar just fell, and it splattered all over me. I was just hungry. Jam? Where? Is there any left? I wouldn't mind eating some too. I burst out laughing first, followed by Nike and Eve. Sabine joins in too. Only Eric, who's just come to his senses, has a blank look on his face. I feel the strongest relief I've ever felt in my life. She's alive. Sabine's alive, and I'm alive. Everyone is alive. Everything will be fine now. Nothing worse can happen. Never. And then a freaking asteroid hits the school. Let's go over it again. One thing at a time. If this isn't all you're doing, then what were you doing in the teacher's room? The book was so exciting. Sabine pauses to take a sip of hot tea. Eve brewed her last tea bag, apparently as gratitude for the remnants of jam. Well, yes, that explains everything. All the mysteries are solved. The case is closed. I spent all night reading and didn't sleep well, so I finished it in the evening at the club meeting. There were no other books. I mean, there was the one in the teacher's room. The teacher took it away from me so I wouldn't read during class. Today I remembered that there is a door and well You committed breaking and entering! Eric's voice is full of delight, as if he hadn't just done the same thing a moment ago. I found the book, sat down for a minute, and then fell asleep. Then I woke up and got hungry. I saw the jar and tried to open it. It slipped out of my hands, bounced on the table, and splashed jam everywhere. And then I heard a noise coming from the hallway. I wanted to see who else decided to visit the teacher's room. I lay down on the floor to look out from under the curtain. Okay, so yeah. Then you came in, scared Pocky, then me, then scared yourself. In general, you acted pretty weird. It was us who acted weird. Exactly, everyone except me. I'm the only normal one here. Yes, honey, you're right. Well, alright, so what do we do now? Continue from where we left off? And what were you doing again? We were running and shouting. Do you want to join us? It's fun. Eric turns pale and retreats into a corner, reliving the moments of happiness once again, still fresh in his memory. I think I've had enough fun for one day. Nike perks up and attacks our chairman. Even though I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be Nika, I will call her Nike. Still, stop. It was you who arranged everything. You already let it slip. Back in the staff room. Eric turns quite shy. His eyes dart. Then he stops, frowns and... Yes, it was me. You forced me to. You turned Ace Detective Club into this... Alluring Damsel Club? Don't you like it? Are you upset that you're not an alluring damsel? Stop it, that's enough. This is why I wanted to teach you a lesson. To scare you. I think you scared yourself the most. And then he calms down just as suddenly as he got angry a moment ago. Actually, I don't blame him. Although it's his own fault, his recruitment strategy wasn't very picky to begin with. On the other hand, it was necessary to act immediately, otherwise the room would have gone to someone else. And he really wanted to create a detective club. It was his dream. He did everything possible to fulfill it. And in the end, instead of cool detectives, the club consists of some kind of defectives, in a professional sense of course, or of lovely girls, mostly. In fact, I wasn't going to scare you that much. I was going to immediately show that the corpse wasn't real, that it was the first clue. What clue? Well, the quest I mean. Have you heard of those escape rooms where they lock you in the room and you need to solve puzzles to get out? They are really fun. You would like it. And then you could finally understand that the club is... Anyway, we can find the key, right? Yes, I've planned it out throughoutfully. I prepared everything when I went to check the time. Consider the quest completed. Give me the key. I don't have it. He wilts completely, averting his eyes to the side. He looks lost. I dropped it when I was running away. It fell right into the drain, where there used to be a drinking fountain, before the cooler was installed in the cafeteria. Nike rolls and rushes to the hall. I'm afraid she'll rip up the floors to get out of school. Eric is almost crying. He's so mad at himself and us. Such bad detectives. This is so cool. What exactly is cool? Your idea. It's a pity that there is no key. Maybe we can complete the quest without it. The chairman is perking up right before my eyes, although it seems he still can't believe that someone liked his idea. Nike returns. Judging by the look on her face, she couldn't get the key. I clearly remember how sturdy the grate is. I remember accidentally dropping a coin in there on my first day of school. I wouldn't have minded either. What wouldn't you minded? I would have also wanted to complete Eric's quest, albeit without needing a key to get out. It sounds very fun. Nikes take a deep breath, but I managed to quickly add. It was Eve's idea. It isn't hard to see how Nike treats her friend, protects her, agrees with any nonsense she says, and now all Nike's anger has evaporated. She suppressed it with an effort of will. She nods. Well, if everyone is okay with it... We turn to Sabine, making her a little confused. Yes, of course, I'm in. Shall we start? And so we do, but give up almost immediately because nothing worked out as planned. It was here, a note. There's no second clue here either, and the third one too. Someone removed them, but why? Okay, my guess is... the teacher! The chemistry teacher. We failed to solve the puzzle and the villain is still here somewhere. Apparently someone else is playing this game, and that someone is among us. Most importantly, we really are in danger, real danger, unlike the hamster and jam. We need a change in perspective, something that will get the ball rolling. I think I have some ideas. Don't worry, the quest just got even more exciting. Now even Eric can participate with us on equal terms. So you're the one who did it? To make it even more exciting? No, of course not. I just thought we'd have to think about spending the whole weekend here until school reopens. Her voice is still angry, but she tries not to express her emotions as openly as before. How long can people live without food? Anyone can last a couple of days, but I'd rather not. So we need to take care of finding provisions. The chairman grasps my idea and again takes control of the situation. Just what I needed. I like how Nike takes care of Eve. So I decided to follow her example. To begin with, I need to help Eric get through his failed plan. And at the same time, we'll look for some important stuff that can help us get out. Anything can be put to good use, from a nail to a microwave oven. Well, that's great. Life is getting better. I just hope that there's a way out. Though if we get eaten, there will be 2 ways out. Sometimes Eve really nails it. Funnily enough, the first thing we find is some marshmallows. Well, we don't really find them. We just scrape up some change and buy them from the vending machine in the hallway with all sorts of goodies inside. Can't say it's the most useful thing in our condition, but it makes Eve really happy. And when we get a spirit lamp from the chemistry teacher's desk, Eve almost starts jumping for joy. We're going to roast marshmallows! A real bonfire party, hooray! Okay, maybe she's actually who did that, I don't know. A few minutes later, we are sitting around an improvised campfire and are actually roasting marshmallows. Eve bites off a tiny piece of still hot, freshly roasted marshmallow and closes her eyes with pleasure. So delicious! It feels like we are on a camping trip. It's nighttime, there's a bonfire, marshmallows, screams, and corpses, and romance. At the mention of a trip, Nike frowns. Was there something to it? It's hardly any fun to spend your weekend in another city. There's something going on here. The first thing is checked off. Let's move on to the second item of the list. What list? My list of activities. We are done with marshmallows, now the puzzles. Eric, go ahead, you have a lot of them. Oh, look at Eric glowing with happiness. His plan worked in the end. Not the way he thought it would, but still. Here we are, sitting, waiting for his puzzles, nowhere to run. One woman loved detective stories very much. I think she read Agatha Christie, Joanna Milevskaya, Elizabeth George, Carrie Greenwood, Neo Marsh. Okay, stop. Slow down for a moment. Are these names relevant to the puzzle? No, but these are esteemed classics of women. So now you're fine with the Alluring Damsel Club and you want to join too? No, what nonsense. Okay, the story is, a woman loved detectives and her narrow-minded husband laughed at her for that, just like all of you. And one day, he said something to her that made her pack up and leave him. What did he say to her? Are you for real? How is it even possible to know such thing? Just guess. Okay, fine, let's try it. He said, your detective novels suck. I also decided to give it a try. He suggests divorce. No, he said, the butler did it, or the horse was drugged with clonidine and she couldn't remember the password. And we have a winner. The man told the ending of every book, and the woman, as we remember, loved detectives very much. Come on, that's so difficult. No, I can relate to that. I would kill because of spoilers. Nike just snores and Eve smiles triumphantly. There was a nutcase once in America. He killed his brother, sister, and his girlfriend. He tossed all their bodies in the well, but by the morning, they had all disappeared from it. And only when he killed his mom, she didn't disappear. Why? Is this from your personal experience? Is that why I haven't seen your mom for a long time? What a meanie! Eric tries his best at entertaining us, and that girl just makes fun of him. It's possible that Mother kept pulling everyone up from the well and burying them herself. They were still a family. Since he's a nutso, perhaps everyone but his mother were figments of his imagination. It seems that she got caught up in all the excitement too. Eric seems like he's ready to announce the winner, when Eve suddenly blurts out her version. It was a will with 3 wishes. He probably ran out of wishes. Eric and Ike exchange glances and start applauding. I join in. A good version with magic and a happy ending. Unlike the mystery itself, Eric's stories are all kind of dark. Next one. Once there was the British soldier who aimed at a mustache man. Well, that's what I was saying. Now there's a mustache man. And then what's next? Torture and dismemberment? And he never shot him. Why? I should mention, the story really did happen during the World War. What a valuable piece of info. Well, now we'll definitely guess it easily. Oh yeah, maybe World Wars, because like he actually fought on the first one. Was he out of ammo? I think he was actually aiming at him with the camera. Eric just shakes his head, squinting slyly. I wonder if he guessed the right answer himself on the first try. He felt pity for him. Bingo! Wait, what? Now Nike and I exchange glances, but we remain silent. Seems like Eric decided to play along with Eve. Well, I don't mind. Nike too. This happened during the First World War, not the Second. Back then, the mustache man was just a career soldier. Besides, he was wounded. Finishing him off seemed low to the British. Okay, so I thought it was a camera, but okay, wait. Did I say I pointed the gun? Okay, I kinda didn't know. Okay, yeah, never mind. It's getting late, so I'm getting tired. I wouldn't say that it's the same as pity, but in his shoes, I would also count the answer as correct. War and corpses. Perhaps that's enough of this stuff. Is there any mystery involving school? Yes, there's one. On the 1st of September, there was a murder at the school. I mentally slapped my face with the palm of my hand. But don't say anything. Well, he likes corpses, nothing I can do about it. There were 4 suspects, but all of them had alibis. The director was at the entrance ceremony. The janitor was busy with cleaning the floors at the entrance. And the Eric glances briefly at Nike and falters. She keeps mentioning our dying chemistry teachers too often. And the math teacher was checking the tests. So who was the killer? I think it's the security guard. He had a gun after all. Or was he on duty with a baton? It's school after all. Although a baton is a pretty deadly weapon too if you think about it, so... The janitor did it. And after his deed was done, he simply washed away all traces of the crime. The blood and scattered brains and nails, teeth, a torn navel. Why wouldn't you suspect the director too then? Perhaps he's the mastermind. The teacher is the only nice guy here. Working hard, checking last year's test again for some reason. Okay, exactly. This is actually an easy one, I just didn't pay attention. Lol. Yeah, of course it's the teacher. Oh, of course, it's the 1st of September, the entrance ceremony, and he already has some tests written by who knows who. This time I'm the one who starts clapping first. In a moment, others join me too. Here's another story. There was a hospital and there was one particular bed at the entrance to the intensive care unit where patients kept dying each Friday. It was like some kind of curse, but they suspected the doctors. They realized it wasn't them after they set up some hidden cameras. So who's the killer? There's not enough info. How can we draw any conclusions if there's nothing to analyze to start with? It could hardly be a ghost. Coincidence? When I was in the hospital, we had general cleaning each Friday and it was very... Correct. We stared at him puzzled. Correct what? The cleaning lady kept plugging her vacuum cleaner into the nearest outlet, disabling the life support machine in the process. Because of the noise, she couldn't hear the death rattles of the dying patients. Oh man, come on already. Aren't there enough corpses for one day? For one today? Eric gets embarrassed and backs up a little, recalling his recent encounters with our plush walking dads. Well, at least it got through to him. Okay, fine. A husband promised to come back by 8 in the evening, but he came at 8:02. The wife still made a scene because of the lateness. Why? Any ideas? Yeah. It was 8 a.m., dude. Was he drunk? Doesn't matter, I think the wife made a scene just because he was late. Maybe he accidentally locked her up and she spent all this time waiting for him to come? No, it makes no sense. Or she made a bet with a neighbor about him coming home at the exact right time, or... Did he come back at 8 in the morning or in the evening? Bingo, and again the trophy goes to our Eve. The girl carefully examines her empty hands, not being able to see the trophy, and stares reproachfully at Eric. This makes him give her his marshmallow as a substitute reward. Ah man, how many are there? A man standing on the pavement dropped a tomato from head height, but it did not even get dented. But he doesn't have time to finish. GMO! It fell into a puddle. Eve takes the marshmallows out of her mouth, her own and the prized one, and confidently declares, "Caught it." That's right, sorry, but I don't have any more. I hand the girl my marshmallow and she puts it in her mouth right along with the other two. A man was playing cards with 3 of his friends. He accidentally dropped the 7 of clubs on the floor, bent down to get it, and surprisingly there were 7 legs under the table. Nike again doesn't let him to finish the story. One of them was disabled. Wait, it was 3 friends? I too exclaim my absolutely unoriginal answer at the same time. They removed their prosthetic, but Eric shakes his head, dismissing both answers at once. Did one of the players bend his leg? Yep. She puts the marshmallows on her palm again and says, then he simply miscalculated. Wait, what? And having sent all 3 marshmallows back into her mouth, she continues trying to chew them up. Nye glances at the pleased Eric and hands her friend the marshmallow trophy. I wonder where you got so many puzzles from. Books, the web, I don't really remember. It's just that I found the subject interesting, so I remember them easily. It's not like I come up with them myself. Why don't you try it then? Since you're so fond of it, you can start with puzzles, and then you can start to write books later. Eric pauses for a moment, giving a thought to that offer. Then he shakes his head as if trying to drive away irrelevant thoughts. Let's continue. A man bought an inexpensive painting at auction, although he knew that it had little value. What for? Was he a fool? Or he has bad taste in art, or simply liked the picture. If he kills the artist, it will become famous, as it sometimes happens after the death of the artists. And then this picture... Oh. It seems that she realized what a stupid thought she blurted out. How many artists would you have to kill before at least one of them becomes famous? Then everyone stares at Eve, waiting for the right answer. She tries to say something, but 4 marshmallows stand in her way, and then she draws a rectangle in the air. Painting? The girl nods her head and repeats the pantomime. But this time she draws a rectangle, not with 1, but with 2 fingers. She spreads her index finger and a thumb. The frame. Okay, so basically he bought it for a frame. The girl nods vigorously again and calms down, concentrating on chewing marshmallows. Absolutely right. The frame the painting was in was pretty expensive. Oh, the girl is not so simple as it happens. She beat us again. The puzzles keep getting more logical, even though, as I thought before, she was lacking logic. There are 4 apples in a basket. How would you distribute them to 4 children so that everyone has one, but 1 apple remains in the basket? This time I figured it out faster than the others. You need to cut each apple into 4 pieces and distribute 3 slices to each child. And if there is no knife or the parts are unequal, Eve is still snuffling with a mouthful of marshmallows. She takes a piece of paper, rolls up a small bag, plugs the half-chewed piece of marshmallow right out of her mouth, throws it into the bag and hands it to Eric. Correct, you should give 1 apple along with the basket itself. Yeah, okay, yeah. That is actually makes sense. Eve snorts confidently, without stopping chewing. Are we really losing to Eve? A boomerang can be thrown so that it will return to the hand. But what about the ball? Just throw it at the wall. I throw the ball to a dog and he returns it to me. And I throw it at a wall and it bounces right back at me. Okay, so now it will be something different. Eve takes the bag, crumples it into a ball, tosses it straight up. Yeah, okay. And it returns right into her palm. We lost again. Oh, gravity, you heartless. If we had any marshmallows left, the girl would have popped by now. If I fail, I have enough. Eric and I don't understand a word, but Nike seems to get it. And she even manages to translate it for us. It's okay, I had enough. She said she had enough. Okay, cryptographic puzzle next. Continue the row. O, T, T, F, F. F, 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 F. Eric and I stare at our translator from Evish to human, but she just shrugs. Then I hand a fountain pen to Eve, and she quickly writes a few characters down. S-S-E-N-T. And write again, the next puzzle! Hey, Speed Demon, don't rush. Haven't you forgotten something? Oh yes. These were the first letters of the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, okay, 6, 7, 8, okay, yeah. I see. What a piece of... Okay, it's time to wrap up. The main thing is that Eve had her snack. Let's continue with your quest, Mr. Riddler. And so we leave. Oh, that was a long part. We find a bunch of unattended junk, and we even managed to get some useful stuff from it. But the most valuable finding turns out to be a walkie-talkie. The problem is the school is located in the lowlands, so we need to get to the roof to actually use it. But the doors to the stairs leading there were closed a long time ago, so that students wouldn't spend all day there skipping classes. There is some kind of magical roof here. No one wants to leave it. We also find a paper cutter that we used to cut the cord hanging from the suspended ceiling. Then we tie it to a bent nail and fish out the key from under the grate with our handmade fishing rod. But it turns out it doesn't match the lock on the door. Our disappointment quickly turns into despair, but then Eve starts wondering what this key is for and tries all the doors in the school. It turns out it's the key to the rooftop. Not bad. We rush up the stairs as if the school's building is about to collapse and we'll end up buried in rubble. I wonder how we managed to keep our legs safe in such a rush. When we reach the roof, we stop and I get the walkie-talkie, which is immediately grabbed by Nike. Where should I press? What knob should I turn? Don't mess with anything you don't understand. Give it here or you'll break it. He sets it to the first channel and then presses a button on the side of the device. Hey, can anyone hear us? Please respond. The walkie-talkie replies with silence and I feel despair coming back. Can anyone hear us? Answer, please. It's urgent. Please respond. It sounds quite pitiful. I even feel a bit uneasy. I turn back, lift my head, and start watching the stars. They are no longer clearly visible. The sun is already coming up after all. There's probably not enough power. We need to amplify the signal, although how will we do it? Or maybe we should extend the antenna? We need to find a wire or something metallic. Last we have the wire, and we even have a cutter to strip the ends of the wire. And so we connect the walkie-talkie's antenna to the one for the TV. Eric holds his breath and flips the switch. That is a hiss. Well, at least it's louder than the last time. And then, 14, check the store at the North Bridge. Code. Okay, that is police. And his voice is cut off. Eric swears and fixes the fallen wire. The girls reach out to him. Can you hear me? Please answer. We need help. Respond. Kid, stop messing with the broadcast. This is a channel for... Eric doesn't let them finish and pushes the call button. You think I'm ordering pizza here? I recognize the quote. Giggle and give the chairman a thumbs up. We are locked in our school without food and water and no one's looking for us. We need help. Roger, wait. 14, it's on your way there. Check the school. Okay, is there only one school in the city? The 14th replies something, but it's unclear. The walkie-talkie stops making any sound. Even the hiss is gone now. So the battery is dead. The only thing left for us now is to wait for the police to arrive. That's it. Let's wait. But is it the police? We start waiting. We stand on the roof without even noticing the dawn on the horizon. And then warm light floods all over the city and reaches the rooftop of the school. Still, it's a pity that our investigation has reached a dead end. It would be cool to find the perpetrator. Eve. What's there to look for? Who benefited from it? Who wanted to make a real investigation? Only you, Hercule the Desiccated. I think everyone will agree with me. Isn't that right? Who thinks that our detective did it all? It looks like it's really him. At first I also thought it was him, but somehow it's also... While outraged and dumbfounded, Eric gasps for air. The girls turn to me. So I'm the deciding vote? If I stand up for him, then opinions will be divided in half. And if I take the side of Nike and Eve, then Eric's guilt will be settled by our so-called jury trial. But why do we need this trial at all? I understand perfectly well that our decision will not affect the real state of affairs in any way. We will just express our opinion. What is the evidence? But then... I think it wasn't Eric. He didn't do it. I'm sure. Do you know something? You know something. So it was you who ruined my quest after all. I didn't say that, no. I didn't ruin anything, but I don't see the point in you spoiling it. It makes no sense. My words get Nike embarrassed. She realizes that it makes no sense to blame the victim, but still her stubbornness can't let her admit her mistake. Maybe he... Oh, drat, whatever, but someone obviously wanted to mess with us. Or mess with Eric. Let's think logically. Eve brightens up. I thought she had already fallen asleep standing up, which is also an amazing talent, by the way. Okay, let's begin. Personally, I didn't do it. No proof is even required here. Why this all of a sudden? You need to prove it. Do you think you are better than others? At least I'm not pretending to be detective. My favorite coffee shop was closed, and the club is a perfect place to have tea parties after school. There's no arguing here. The alibi is so-so, to be honest, but we'll believe her. Moreover, she was deprived of a trip. Eve was with me almost all the time. We got separated for just a few minutes. It wouldn't be enough for a full-fledged diversion. Mark was in the club room. No, we can vouch for that. He's very good at hiding. Okay. This makes me blush. The praise turns out to be surprisingly pleasant. And yet, he has no motive. However, nobody else does either. But he's an observer by nature. He likes to sit in an armchair, as if watching TV, and wait for show to start. It's kind of talking to me right now. Perhaps any possible outcome of this adventure would be fine with him, but I don't think he would get himself involved. Still, Mark remains under suspicion. Ain't she good? The less suitable for an investigative activities girl turns out to have nice analytical skills. As I recall, that's why she was asked to join the club in the first place. That leaves Sabine. She's a dark horse, a quiet one. Her book went missing and that's the motive. Besides, she was the one who was away the longest, and she's constantly reading detective novels and could have come up with some kind of treachery. Sabine turns pale. I can't read all her emotions now. Resentment, fear, something else, but it definitely upsets her. I finally make up my mind. It was me. Nike freezes, forgetting to release the air she had gathered for a speech. Eric stares at me as if seeing me for the first time, and Eve starts clapping in excitement. I'm not talking about the quest. I was the one who stole Sabine's book. Everyone's reaction was intensified. Sabine frowns, and I try to make myself clear. I have never been a member of any clubs. I wasn't invited to be in one, probably because they couldn't notice me. I lived other people's lives. I watched what was happening to people, but I didn't interfere. But I'm tired of being invisible. I wanted to participate in something as an equal, as a member of a group, and not just as a spectator. I made a pause to catch my breath and noticed that no one is angry. I think I was pitied, and an unexpectedly unpleasant feeling. And so I stole a book from the desk. I set it up so that Eric would find it later, and so that he simply didn't return it, I kept slipping him books and manga about children locked in school, about investigating crimes committed by someone amongst the victims. Even that gift card for the escape room, Eric didn't win it. I was the one who made up this fake lottery on the web, and surprisingly everything worked. You girls did your part too, by acting indignantly to his interests and having tea parties. He thought of those planted ideas as his own, and he planned this night for us. Everything didn't go according to plan, but still we got to know each other better. We got closer, I hope. Oh wow. Well, yeah, kinda makes sense, actually. Pretty nice, I guess. It was the longest speech of my life. I'm feeling tired, as if I were juggling weights instead of talking. I look up and see Sabine's face. She's smiling. Eric's frowning. Nike looks at me like I'm a fool. Eve makes a funny face, and Sabine is smiling. I just wanted you to notice me. It seems my plan didn't work out the way it was intended either. Have you read the book, Puppeteer? No, why would I? It's a love novel. Exactly. I don't read detective stories. I just take dust jackets from them to hide love novels in. Everyone's mocking me for reading them. And the novel was about a guy and a girl being unable to take the first step towards each other. Okay, so now we're going to this direction. I was hoping you'd read it and come to the right conclusion, but you turned out to be an amazing goofball. I thought that someone else stole the book and you never got it. Thoughts swarm in my head, like a flock of bees. I almost can hear the hum. Or is it a police car? One thought buzzes the most though, and I voice it. So you saw me? This is actually cute. Sabine laughs and takes a step towards me. One small step, for the sake of which she and I have been scheming, stealing, keeping secrets, and arranging misdeeds all this time. I was probably the only one who saw you. Well, what are you going to do now, Mr. Spy? Shall we go to the movies? Hopefully it won't be a detective story. Erics get offended, the girls laugh, and I finally take my girlfriend's hand and gently squeeze her small, tender palm. It's so great to be noticed. Ending 1. Good! Okay, nice. I guess the bad ending is if I blame Eric. Okay, so we finished this one. Well, it was kind of sweet, but I guess I want to play it in Russian, cause like the translation was understandable, but I think I missed some stuff here. Well, I hope you enjoyed either way. Take care, and see you in the next part.